Right. Question? Any question? Schedule? Any other? Yeah, there is a small change on schedule that Muhammad will have a second lecture today instead of next week. Or the other week. So today we will start from discussion session leaded by Karin and then go on to lectures.
Okay, today I want to start our discussion section on undersea missions. So as you can see, we learned about a lot of interesting undersea missions last class. And if we get to categorize all these other activities, we have a lot of different unmanned systems as well. So we learned about ROVs, AUVs, and hybrid systems. And also we learned that, for example, ROVs are more common in survey and exploration. AUVs are more common in construction. And Professor also talked about why like gliders are important. So I wanted to ask you a question. So if we imagine that we are engineers planning like all these different undersea missions, which like unmanned systems do you find to be the most suitable for each mission? So we are going to categorize like these different unmanned systems into different topics so that they will be able to fit into the different missions learned in class. So it's kind of small, but I prepared that. Yeah. So you can see the whole screen. So yeah, does anybody have an opinion? Like you could like choose any unmanned system and any mission at the same time, and you could also put the same a lot of different categories into one box.
Okay. For anti-submarine warfare, I
Yeah.
think AUV is most suitable because ROV is better. So the mission, military mission, Korea became shorter. So AUV is on tether, so it can go far away and it can fight with submarine. So AUV is most suitable. The case, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank you for your opinion. Do you also have a specific AUV in mind? You don't really have to choose, but if you had to. Or maybe do other people have other opinions?
I think that maybe we could use ROV to ocean archaeology because you need to be really careful with what you might find in the sea.
Right.
So you need to be very precise and to control what is precious and what is not.
Yeah, maybe we need some like human control in the case of like archaeology, since there are many important artifacts. Any other opinions?
Like for the anti-submarine warfare, AUV could be very interesting because you want to see what your enemy is doing from far away. You don't want to be near from him. So AUV could be the best choice in this case.
Yeah, that seems like a nice idea. So you agree with Sungyu that AUV is good for anti-submarine warfare?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have opinions for like industrial applications?
I think
the subsea to shore construction,
Yeah,
it should be an ROV because like the construction wise, you really need to be precise
yeah,
and like with the control of like with the human control, the precision can be increased.
yeah, that's true. Since like, as I said, like ROVs and AUVs, like if you look at this slide, they're like, it depends, like they are more commonly used for exploration and AUVs when used for construction. So just to give you an opinion, like, yeah, for example, oil companies can use like ROVs to like map the seafloor. But if it's actually like constructing or repairing something, they would also use AUVs. So yeah, just to give you an idea. Yeah, and yeah, any other opinions?
And I have an opinion for the underwater CO2 storage system. I think we have to use AUV because I think ROV needs many battery or many power source for to storage CO2. So we use if we use many power, we use CO2 to store CO2 system. So it looks awkward. So I think water glider is I think it is a very have a high efficiency. So I think water glider is underwater glider is most suitable for the case.
Oh yeah, thank you for your specific opinion. Yeah, I also agree that underwater gliders are very like high performance for CO2 storage. When does anybody from like online have any ideas on Zoom?
Hello. I think the oceanographic research is more suitable ROV because maybe the desired purpose or photo may be different in real time in subsea, but it would be more convenient if human control it real time.
Yeah, it's kind of similar for ocean archaeology, so maybe similar for research topics, already may be very useful. Yeah, and with other people from Zoom.
I think for military, we can, for all of the purposes, we can use AUV because we can't risk having a tether because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Actually, like I did some research and some ROVs were being used for military, but maybe like these days they are developing new AUVs, so it might be more suitable for the future juristic systems. Right. Okay.
Maybe for environment monitoring, you could use AUV. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it sounds like a repetitive task. So that maybe I would take a long time to do, so we can just put the AUV and he does the job on a long time run.
Since there's a lot of data, it might be good to use AUV to like reduce manpower. And yeah, maybe how about the other 3 boxes without any categorizations? Any opinions?
I think hydrocarbon means kind of manganese, right?
Oh yeah, but yeah, it could be a lot of things. I think like oil fields, like, oil.
Yeah. I think for the hydrocarbon field development, we should build something or build something. So we have to use for some crawling ROV because we doing some job for construct something. So we bottom crawling ROV is most suitable in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I actually agree since like there are actually a lot of bottom crawling AUVs used for, I mean ROVs used for like hydrocarbon oil fields. Then maybe like 2 more opinions and we will move on to the next discussion. Okay. How about ocean renewable energy and bathymetric survey?
Yeah, in my opinion, ocean renewable energy development is also we should use controlling because to develop a system, we have to construct something. So we should use ROV.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. So bottom crawling AUVs are very practical for industrial usage.
Yeah, I would say A for the same reasons as environment.
For AUV,
Um,
yeah, for ocean renewable energy development.
oh no, I'm sorry, bathymetrics.
Yeah, I see, for the same reasons or other different.
Yeah, I was saying for the same reason as environment.
Yeah. So I guess we filled up all these categories and thank you for your contributions. So we will move on to the next discussion topic. Okay, this is like an open question. So actually, there are a lot of different models that we learned about in class. And I'm not saying that one model is like better than the other, since some of them have a high like maximum operating depth and some of them have a like long length. But just based on your like individual like preference or other, yeah,
Can you increase the size?
size. Okay, I think it's okay to use like F5 for this one. Yeah, so maybe if you have like an opinion, like which model you want to invest in, and maybe you could also talk about why you want to invest it in. Like for example, for what purpose do you want to use this AUV model? So yeah, it can be a lot of different answers. It's like not one AUV is like better than the other.
Okay, I have an opinion. I will invest when it's 100 because it is most famous UUV in this 8 UUV because I know the model, so I think it is most popular. So and it can convert to many mission. So I will invest in Linux 100.
Okay,
Because it is very famous.
I guess it's well known and like very like,
Yeah.
prominent among researchers. Yeah. Okay. Anybody have different opinions? Like they want to do something different, not very conventional. Yeah. Or maybe like, do you have opinions on like Zoom? Please?
Hello.
Yeah.
I have opinion. I will invest in the Izumi made by Mori and Cordy in Korean because it is smallest and light in weight compared to other models. So it would be good for operate several units same time, and especially for it is good for the military purpose.
Yeah, I also agree. And yeah, I guess like it's also nice to like invest in like domestic devices from a very personal perspective. Okay, for anyone else, for example, you want to try something that goes very deep or something with a large range for specific.
I think the Slocum model would be a good investment because it's not the smallest, but it's not too big as compared to others. It's not the heaviest as well, and it has the longest endurance. So I think it can go on much longer and much elaborate missions.
Yeah, yeah, it has a very long maximum operating depth. And so this is like difference in like electrical and thermal. If you use like thermal energy, you will actually be able to endure it for 3 to 5 years, which is a definite benefit. Maybe somebody who didn't like speak a lot, maybe you could give an opinion.
Okay, I think the ABE from the WHOI can be a uh, good thing to investment because it is not that heavy, but I think this one is quite the operating depth is quite deep rather than other similar heavy weight, and endurance is quite appropriate for the 1 day research. So maybe I think this is good for the scientific research about the deep ocean environment, I think.
Oh yeah, thank you for your opinion. So as you can see, like ABE, it has a very large operating depth. So it's gonna be definitely useful for like undersea environments, or maybe also for research when there are a lot of creatures who live very deep down. So it's not gonna be possible with the other models, obviously. Okay. So I think we can like have a few more opinions. Or maybe you think which ones are inferior compared with the others. I guess like nobody thinks any of the models are not very like badly designed. So I guess like um, maybe, for example, these are all different types of AUVs. So we like in our previous slide, we talked about these different models, for example, for military usage, so or environmental modeling. So for example, for those who said that AUV is good for environmental modeling, which type of AUV do you think would be the best amongst like these models? Or also bathymetric survey?
I think for bathymetric because like you are technically like measuring the depth of the ocean. It is better if we use the deeper one, 8. So like the accuracy can be closer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And everybody said that AUV should be placed in military usage. So which type of one would be best for military? If you had an idea.
Maybe the sea glider, like looking for an AUV that has a long range distance, as we said, so it can be like pretty far away from your enemy.
Yeah, yeah, it has a very long distance. And did you have an opinion?
The last one could be also quite interesting because of its endurance. Because you may place it near some enemy base and it can stay there for more than 20 days and come back with all the information you need. So for surveillance, it could be quite interesting.
Yeah, it has to be quite stealthy, so it has to be quite small, but also it has a very long endurance. So I guess it would have a lot of future applications for military purposes. So I guess like 20 minutes is over, and well, thank you for your discussion participation.